How many times have you set a big goal only to feel overwhelmed and give up before you've even really started? Here's the thing, success doesn't come from huge leaps. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and it's that step that we're going to focus on today. Success comes from small, consistent steps. So today we're talking about the power of micro habits, tiny actions that are so easy they almost feel effortless. If you've struggled to stick with habits in the past, this is the perfect place to start. The idea of micro habits, as popularized by James Clear in Atomic Habits, is a simple concept. Make your habits so small that it's impossible to fail. Think about this. Instead of committing to do 50 push-ups a day, start with just one. Yeah, just one. It might sound too easy, but that's the point. People tend to try and rush ahead with their habits, picking a massive goal with no roadmap on how to get there and no idea of the time frame it should realistically take. The result is burnout, overwhelm, and ultimately quitting. And what does this do for you? It gives you confirmation that, yet again, you're unable to stick at things and reach your goals. You are a failure, again. The truth is, you're playing the wrong game and measuring your success against the wrong metrics. It doesn't matter what other people have done. It doesn't matter what social media says you should do or should be. What matters is making progress, pushing the needle in the right direction. By breaking the goals down into tiny incremental steps, you make them less daunting. When the metrics of success are so easy you can't fail, every day is a win, and these small wins create momentum. When you start small, there's no resistance, you don't feel intimidated, and once you're in motion, it's easier to keep going. Over time, these tiny habits snowball into something much bigger. Habits don't stick because of how intense they are. They stick because you show up regularly. Consistency is everything when it comes to habit formation, and the easiest way to stay consistent is to keep it small. In reality, this is about building the most important habit that no one is talking about, the habit of showing up for yourself. When you have proof that you are showing up every time you say you will, you start to switch the narrative and stories you tell about yourself. You start to ditch the identity of someone who can't and start replacing it with I am. Think about it. Would you rather work out once a week for an hour or do 5 minutes of exercise every day? The person who shows up daily is building a habit. They're showing their brain, this is part of who I am. This is now part of my identity. Even on tough days, doing the smallest version of your habit is a win. It's not about being perfect, it's about proving to yourself that you can stay consistent. Over time, this builds trust in yourself, and that trust becomes the foundation for bigger actions. One of the best strategies for starting small is designing what we call 2-minute habits. These are habits that take less than 2 minutes to complete, making them almost effortless. For example, instead of committing to reading a full chapter of a book, just read 1 page. Instead of planning a 30-minute workout, simply put on your gym clothes and see how many squats you can do in 2 minutes. Instead of sitting for a 20-minute meditation, do a 2-minute breathwork practice. These tiny actions remove the barrier to getting started. And here's the magic. Once you start, you often find yourself wanting to keep going. But even if you stop after 2 minutes, you've succeeded because you're reinforcing the habit. You might be wondering, how can such small actions make a difference? Well, imagine improving just 1% every day. At first, it seems like nothing's happening, but over weeks and months, those small gains compound. This is the power of micro habits. They might feel insignificant today, but over time they can transform your life. A 1% improvement is always greater than no improvement at all. Progress is progress, and making progress is far more important than how quickly we get there. A 1% improvement each day ends up being 3,778% improvement after a year, nearly 38 times better. And these tiny incremental gains not only compound, but they aggregate. Because they are easy to do, we can start improving multiple aspects of our lives at the same time. A 1% improvement in sleep, a 1% improvement in our movement, a 1% improvement in our food. These are all combined to make massive changes, far greater than each one alone will bring about. Remember, it's not about where you start, it's about building momentum. Small actions done consistently lead to massive results. So here's your challenge. Think of one habit that you want to build and break it down into the smallest possible step. Something so easy it takes less than 2 minutes. Then commit to doing it every day for the next week. Remember, the key is to start small and stay consistent. See you in the next video.